ye man wo ho ebi mbefo say we dokon ne nchenam keke no beyond that.
I see.
Ukoto bro lonka untumi nka bangu mienu wo mu.
Greater Accra region has not been fair to MPP. And I just hope, say, now that they are seeing.
Okay, yeah, Mufa, Mammy Tiwe.
Adrian as an American. First, Nanka, your name is Tommy Yam and Maypie Gallian Bean. Gobeya.
In 4 are complaining. And why are they complaining? They are complaining because almost is a say no nyama boy ayedi. Now ebushon for why is everyone complaining right now? And yen crime for one complaining. I say we are complaining. The answer is quite simple. Simple because now what this government currently is doing, the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, the first gentleman of the land as it stands, what he is doing is quite tricky and is basically broad day fraud. Adia John Mahama, His Excellency, the way our also manage or mind ways is saying, it's just the same way like Obia or fraud. And I say, we are come to know as QNet. QNet in say you are giving so many promises and they barely even keep any of them. That is what Ghanaians are currently experiencing. Ya more promises be brave. Am I a promise be brave? A lot of promises. But as they are in power, it's as though they do not even care any longer to ensure that those promises will make it to Ghanaians and they will fulfill it. Now, I am not surprised, and I know many of you watching today or tonight are not surprised, because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, during the campaign period, or say, politicians lie during campaign. And that is his view. Now, you would wonder, say, how is it possible, say, Obia Wabeka Ghana for say, it is allowed to lie during campaign, no? Ghanaians will even believe that person. Yes, it is a question that, till date, you and I cannot answer. And the more you think about it, you start having headache. So it's better off you leave it. Okay? Now, as I said earlier on, I said, say, Nkrumah are complaining about the price of Kenkey. I don't know where you are right now, but for the people in Ghana, I want you to reply me if you can. Have you noticed, say, Kenkey? And the reason I'm using Kenkey is because Kenkey is very topical. Last year, wherever you go anywhere, so called a campaign, they are saying it's a Kenkey Boyedin. And tonight, that is why we are not using any other abstract thing but Kenkey and Gobe. Okay. Now, if you have realized in Accra, Kwame here, long time no see, welcome back. We are just starting, so you have come early. In Accra, Kenkey, they say, there are places where they are selling the Kenkey 7 cedis. And I know also that Takrady, the same thing is happening. Takrady. There are people who have stopped selling Kenkey at 5 cedis. They are now selling it at 7 cedis. Now, Uko Accra, they give you their choice. So they have the 5 cedis one and the 7 cedis one. Uko Accra, Kenkey no, or more Kenkey 5 cedis there, any 7 cedis there. So the one that your money can reach, or is up to, you buy. But what you will realize is the Kenkey that they were selling 5 cedis some time ago, they said they have reduced the size. They have reduced the size of the Kenkey that used to be 5 cedis. Right? I can say that for a fact, Accra, even in Ho. Now, when you ask the sellers, they will tell you that most of the things we are thinking, say, the prices have come down. Most of them, the price has not come down. In fact, some of them, the prices is going up. Yes, some of the things we use day to day on daily basis. The price is nicodemously going up. And the sellers do not have any other option than also to reduce either the size of the kenkey or to sell it at 7 cedis. Now in Ghana is almost quite coming from let's say a home that does not have so much money. Ukoto kenkey anopa, you cannot afford to buy fish, because in whole year ukoto nama fish, the least is 15 cedis, half no, and I'm pala half no. The least 15 cedis. And anopa ukoto kenkey, we are bema albeit made the mirasa miensa. Say a service cedis diana, about 21 cedis, kenkey 21 cedis. Fish no, uto 15 cedis or they can about saying 36 cedis. Anopa to. That is what you are going to eat for breakfast under John Mahama. Meanwhile, they are saying, say, inflation has come down, city is doing well. Now, there are a few reasons why John Mahama, His Excellency, any at all forcing, or mu focus nina, say, inflation and then exchange rate. Omunim say, they had promised workers down. Omashe workers no bo. Say this year, they were giving them 10% increment. But from next year forward, it was going to be higher. That is what they told workers. Now, in order for them to be able to have a case at the negotiation table, because a bundle increment in salary for government workers, there is something we call Fair Wages Commission. It's our Fair Wages Commission. They sit down around the table and they negotiate the salary for next year, the increment. Now, at the negotiation point, workers will be like, we want 30% increment or we want 40% increment. Then government will be like, no, we cannot give you 40% increment. Why do you want 40%? After all, inflation is 8%. You do get it? So if inflation were to be around, say, 15%, then government cannot tell workers, say, he's going to increase it beneath that 15%. The workers will agitate. So in order to tie the hands of the workers, let's pump in money. Let's pump in our foreign reserve, money from our foreign reserve, for inflation to drop down. And then once inflation has dropped down, we will tell workers that we are only going to increase it by 9%. And the worker cannot say anything because inflation is down. So meanwhile, inflation is down on the book, on the cover of it, on the surface of it, but the prices of goods and services are going up. Bisa who say, then inflation is down, but Ghana Water Company wants to increase their rate by over 100%. ECG wants to increase their rate by over 100%. Ghana Water, any ECG, they are state agencies. So ideally, say inflation back down, and say economy and I say is doing better, then Ghana Water Company, any ECG, are some of the first companies that are supposed to bring down their prices. But that is not happening. And the reason that is not happening is because government is just tricking Ghanaians with this whole inflation figure. That is it. It is a whole trick that is being played. Now, unfortunately for us, we have given them power. And the power we have given them, as part of it, they have every legitimate right to do this kind of Q-net thing with us. All we can do is to see it and keep quiet on it. Aside seeing it or maybe talking about it on social media, because even the traditional media, as we have it, will not even allow you to come and say it. These days, I don't even fancy going to radio station any longer. Because you go to radio, and basically the host there is a second communicator for NDC. That used to happen when we were in power. But I really thought it was normal because, I know they were all running an agenda. But to have NDC in power, and the radio stations and the radio hosts are still acting to say, or muye communicators ma NDC. So these days I prefer coming live and coming to make my point than going on radio and going to waste my time. So evidence to say this very complaint that is coming about the price of food, especially Kenkey any gobemuno, is coming from Accra. Because Accra traditionally, they have not been really, really kind to NPP. Greater Accra region. They have not been really kind to NPP. I remember, say, before NPP will come to power, Greater Accra region, to get water flowing through the tap, now a tag of war. And people who have stayed in Adenta will testify. Before 2017, you can go a whole year, water has not flown through your tap in Adenta. Sorry. Same for Medina Estate. Medina Estate, sometimes once in a month before you see water flow through tap. Before 2017, MPP came to power, and we came to open up and put together pipelines to Adenta, Medina Estate, Ashoreman, all over. At least one necessary item or commodity that people should be able to have access to on daily basis without having to pray about it. ANC. Right? But NDC did not care about it. It took MPP to come to power to do that in Greater Accra region. Look at the number of stuff that Honorable Okoboy has done in Lejokuku. Ideally, it beats one's imagination, say, there should even be a contender for Honorable Okoboy ewa Lejokuku hono. That notwithstanding, Lejokuku for say he doesn't come for funerals, he doesn't come for weddings, he doesn't come for outdoors. So they to abano tiano. And
Gobeye yedi se wu kura be 30 cities ya so bi go be neding me nya go be ni na mesimi kwa kodi ya wapu ya fil kokunte ya fazo kokunte we to kokunte be 3 cities 5 cities amintini e se kokunte na midino esim tikuro kokunte be 10 cities matona be 15 cities e se do man de nyame ne be hwe bye bye.
Asemu akwano say gobana esi agobe say I luxury only 30-50 cities I want to mean gobe. Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
But your first and access me fa.
Chief. It's very
like to be a question. Mami to your chief.
No you mean Benin 2024 before the election we come only 3 cities to 5 cities. One equal 3 cities to 5 cities. I'm going to free you. Koti other area kadishike kukume iwole Ghana na ele wana fufu ikule 7 cities 8 cities 10 cities chibi anele fufu 10 cities for apa tinko ai ko 10 cities nje bibiu ni komi ele 7 cities banku ele me kumbo 7 cities koti gawatu abo banku 7 cities banku 5 cities ko bi pa majebu wo bi ane which mama won't qualify. The way you have to communicate Kena to Libby Galawa. She can be back and Bani Bashi, Ugomoni Pony Bashao. And the finance minister, a great impression, Ragashi, Libby Galabashi. You give me Galawa, your money here, Parliament. No, it's a Libby here, Parliament. They can't really be that official Libby near the Commission, come on, who am I? So, Libby Galawa, it will be 2 10. What else is your mama telling?
Oh, you are done. And cannot the Moody Agra and Crambeca of Vihano Peno. I just say, well, bad you for you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
But your first, Yamia de Moy and Answer.
Yamia, the family coffee in Tatia.
You, coffee day?
Coffee in Tatia.
In Tatia?
Yeah, where Bible Muntatian.
I see. Oh.
I make a selfie, and cocoa Dayachi. Yeah.
Mammy Tiokovi.
Kana won. Moka na Mahama describe Akufa Daba was a buying full way. Was a buying full way. Moka how Mahama describe Akufa Daba.
Yes.
At a buying full way.
Buying phone, yes. Make I pa.
Abaku. Minimum because your moko jiji aduane prices eyo momra nkoko anwumre edu anwumre a momra nkoko emra mehwe ha wo moton aduane wa ha no mo de akwakwa omo de akoye omo yi
omo ton ne sen
dokuru 5 cedis a minia
obetimi amene ho
mada oba moa no amene dokupe
oba moa no amene ese mu emu ese swa I see. Okay. Matimi dasi. Enti baby a yate so no. Yatum baby so no ma yate size no so. Good morning.
Good morning, Daro.
Pacho, your friend say nax afifa.
Your friend me abi supo kumati. Me kasa free bo say.
Okay, mami ti oja.
Dokuno ho asemo amoka no kwasemo no say. Last year na mitumi ebi dokuno 5 cedis ye ba kono kora na mitumi mi. But net 7 cedis na I just am a top 3. Boshay a free and palm ECG enimu ho ba yeton dokuno ho. Boshay station yeton dokuno ho. Se uduru na ya junction uremu a afia ho ma mebu ho ton banku ho. Ye fe na kuata. The dia ne last year na utimi to abetia 7 cedis. And na 10 cedis no ukomu tintiri no kura enru ena aduru yam. Enti se dia aduane na dia the boy ya dian kasa ma ya ne ate bo sai bank man patam wa de ye ntimi ni kura ya wa bank ma joint bi ho ananka etimi di dokono a 5 cedis last year u be dia me ma wato da ro me ka tra o sa ene 10 cedis no ukomu tintiri kura duru na aduru yam.
But me so me da se me fa last call na me dey see. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, when to me nyina so. Good morning, Patrick Frost and Axa Fifa. Hello, good morning, Patrick Frost and Axa Fifa.
Mame, Papa, Patrick, apom to say ni.
Nyame adome ho ye pa.
Yo, Patrick Moses in the Mississippi Upper West, West.
Yo, Moses, ye da se man ti wan
Yo, Papa, nyame come ho. Inflation. And a dear dollar. Yeah, ha. Yeah, town near man and a okay, dollar crab former. Not to me, Botoma and Twa. Not the dollar above form, not Chamisarana, and made the Dimi no, and made answer a many back who could I be Kurano. Now acquire the Biao. Yeah, the corona 5 city. 5 city no by what Tabaqua. Let's say, Uma Bakuno to Yema, why we are come out then to no Kurano. Wow, whatever. It's all for so Benjamin and Alzheimer and Sabi. What you have landed.
Nanka Upper West, you do a bruby breed, you do Krubo Eddie.
Yeah, a bro bag and on such a grass and Okobia, 300 Ghana city. A bro bag and Okon grass in Babia, 300 Ghana city. Only Panada born a set up away, yet on 600 Ghana city. Next, oh, answer no bit back, Plaza car. This is what Tom Abro butter, butter, I think you know, and you say butter, cocoa butter, Tintino, you told Tom you not a tomato, Plaza bag back. Not a hook, no inflation, they be a digger, and you're in ya kese ya titano mbepo ye without the papa only nyame ya aduma
men so me da say obi the list send me Eric Pacho me the ma mo hwe na mo me ya na man fan to suma me also or share from Kita municipality in the Volta region the din at the Papanko na neema no say NPP also no turn 60 series the same items and no kwa 85 Ghana cedis me Eric dey atoso we say that will me hwam from ahafotano so also no so Kenkey no kanena out of 5 and then a bonus 7 no so use of fire 2 and sand wet me nya grounding it say size no so aso atenye ne block kenai den size no so akofem pa adibia hardin okay me for last one na infancy. Good morning Patrick Frost and Axa Fifa.
Good morning Penny. Patrick friend Ibrahim.
Okay Ibrahim Axa Fifa. Choco okay and Choco dey said dokunu
MPP be free so which me to a dokun 2 cedis 3 cedis highest near 5 cedis san
Very my creditor sound
NDC4 ka say e bro ni bo aba form but omo eton be bronu eye dokun eni banku ni ada ediane ayedi wa no omo mu fi yedi eno ma peda omo tutu sa ni ama no 10 cedis 7 cedis enti sa e bro bo mba afom but eyi campaign na edis for year say for anagana for comedy wo mo mba o metiti ni ama so eni na gana for ehwe so o metiti so amagana for wato wo ba na dokun ntumi ndi won't talk.
Choco phone to me, Doctor.
Make up, Choco, Doctor, 5 cities, 7 cities, if you got 10 cities. It's a fact. The machine. Oh, I won't come. I won't come. 2 cities again. I won't come 3 cities again. 5 cities, 7 cities. Yeah, the man is
you, Medasi, why? Medasi, and ne, Gamami, I want to mean Docono. I want to mean ni. Enti medamase Mr. Abraham Boache ewo US o se anopei o tia Ghana fo nyina enti ene gobe untimi ni ene kokonte untimi ni ene dokono untimi ni enuane akakane no na ne bo afo a ankobia timi edibi no ene amanfo entimi enni enye samo mpeu na ne bo ayeden tie ka kire se ankaye ba ama ne bo ayemre so ene ne bo ayeden papa yo dasebre aba dasebre the road na ni me to say
na me tumi nti ene me ye
ohun say penifo say wo tu twankontupu ma asafo ayira wo da na NDC bai ma ba ye almost say a blue bag so ate from 900 cities and the Kufuado about 400 and the Kuafo say
doctor de banku boy di
Kuafo say obeto fertilizer this oton ebro bag be se miensa ansa na watimi ato fertilizer ba ko so Kufuado wo ho no no mo ton ebro bag ba ko a mo timi to fertilizer mienu ana ba ko ahun ba bia ba bidu isan se propaganda any entro enti baby a eba bidu eno no enti yeda mo asepa ne mo a mo freyen na mo de eyi edi ebre koka machi
ye nua
na bia bokodi
nyameti ase
yeda yankopon ase na anope so mabaidie na yaba be ye adwuma kama pa yo mema ase na ye adwuma but okay mon touch quickly on the nema boy na fi menye guna yenye ya
yanchia ye tiefo ni ahwefo nyina asa ne kwame na afenyo ma akene ne deputy ye chiomo minority chief whip another play ni the deputy nso ye chia on Professor Kinsley Nyako prof anope baby a obi a no ye moachi yanchia nnuaba Victoria Donko or US and so e mana channel pay ensemo akoso o se o ma we mu efa ye nuansem ene ne keka ho inflation ni nyama nyama bi na NDC wo opposition omobrofo anu mo kan ni se mo se amamu nu koyi a edwem tisan yetimi to aduane mienu didi ame ye hoto ye one day yetimi yewe Ghana for na no da bia America ye penipa da bia obeba begina wanim na waye ne ho se one ope ana Ghana for yesu ba na akoye enipa ne begina wanim a na wahwe se de wusitie no na wa lower ne ho about level no oh me ne wo ye pe school no wan ko school me man ko school enti yan ye to kasa winis kamis sa na Ghana for ye pe ni abeda dan yan se de o me ne ye pe no na wo de tumi no man wi a no akire se enye o level eno no sa na ndisi for be ye enna da bia me 2 MPP fofo no se woni o mo ba mo nchan ya na mo che mo si kire ni anwa no mu hwe mu yi na o mo nya pe no pema se be se ansa na nipa de se ni be so aduane akowurem so de koma wurem mu ano na wadwem kuna wadwira fa mo ano nya se do bi no odo won aduane na o de ko no se duro ni mu a na ba bi o de aduane no kosi na fidie da ho o de be yu enti NDC for be dadan ye to the extent say Omampani Mahama dan opposition leader timbie na no kan say enkranfo de che say o se so mo bio ano ka say dokun boy di no mbesu because Mahama timi dina o ka che mo say enkranfo de mu hia digitization na mo de mu hia no dokun ne hyeto ne nchinam enkranfo so tu aba ma no papa sɛ ɔbɛyɛ dɔkoro ne nkyinam ɛne hyetɔ yi ama wɔ mo no manya bi adi amen ɛnɛ mo bae mo sɛ ntimi ntɔ dɔkoro a monka mo no ntum ɔmo bɛdaadaa Ghanafoɔ saa sɛ wotumi ka kyerɛ yɛ sɛ inflation ni sɛ ɛnɛma the rate yɛde to nneɛma buo mu no ɛte ba fam nanso the rate nneɛma buo no nso no ɛtitia no ɛkɔ soro na kurokuro da John adeɛ bɛn no
in fact Uncle Spy ɛwɔ Takra they will draw me attention to dan minim sɛ na me ne wo nenam a ɔse baabi a yɛ dwonso ɛne baabi a ɛyɛ kane na ɛyɛ 150 ɛna ɛkɔ 2 cedis nti wobɛgya wo nan deɛ a momfa nkyɛm sɛ wodidi a wobɛgya wo nan deɛ a ɛsɛ bi a 5 anaa 3 depend on location awɔ nti ɛno koraa nso so no ɛkɔ koka yɛmamitie we
mɛkyia obiaa na makyia lade de kotopo na makyia MC Solomon Nikotai
okay
dɔkono asɛm no deɛ yɛte nkran ha yɛka sɛ obi yɛ nkrani a meka ho bi nti menim sɛ ne yɛkɔ osu night market blue rubber ɛna osu hɔ na yɛfrɛ ne sɛn VRA hospital no opposite Katakumbe free minkola brembesi ne saa 2 places na metɔ dɔkono boy ide dɔkono size na sesa okɔ osu god ndi onim sai Eco Bank na chi hɔ no asa wo kɔ Smith hospital side yeton beans bi wɔ hɔ and the best beans in osu unkura 50 Ghana pa so obenya gobe ene kokko ni gari a ubedi ame no
500,000 ase na okay
50 Ghana
is okura 500,000
50 Ghana cedi untumi ni bi but I say aban papa aba enti we all day inside country broke or country no broke we all day inside they say sa ariensuo any
bafo best
yes
ariensu bafo best
ariensu nya ariensu oh oka say ariensu
awie pure water
na usu pure water nyina prices no cost ama cost of living no high ebi amomfa amwani into rent kra cost rent cost say pass ubenya single room 700 unkra 1,500 unkra 1,500 unya single room e wakra emfa ho baby a wo ekoso toilet na wo osu labadi no unkra free 3 cedis and they just all con Shona music say Shona so no ayedin enti je say nkrofo nam ne acheche rubber
and now I know him
and I say so use black rubber and because someone will say
and nkrofo ni aba ho enti blue and be there
oleni ubo na esi o te say fertilizer bottle maybe a yedru no baby a yedru no that was say about papa we first round the guy unko say bro nya go first start ikem because emo boy den akukọ boy den ifi akukọ kra de bobo nti ye man wo ho ebi mbefo say we dokon ne nchinam keke no beyond that
I see
ukoto bro lo nka untumi nka bangu mienu wo mu
8% obi nka say 8% they said the man so met 8% but 8% which say the rate at which yeah tumu 8%
radio 95.9
nemo no edwabe mo ko hwe no because say ko dwemu a okudam bia bepe ayi kaku first kaku say what you say Superku
kako de ka
Superku eno Superku
no mo mpe kako ma ere
da bi member se worker
godo na me kan obi ope
ai
se me pe ayi akoko bi so mpa akoko
ai Superku
yeah
na ne bo se da nye huhu sa bia ba se chale ya kona mi just a week before pa na futubeku da so a be say yo metimi nwe ne ntamo ya mda to afufu na pampam because wa hwe na asa enema bo ayedin enema bo ayedin especially aduane a na dem won say na ya to yi musa so ana transportation say ntu musa eti aden
na unzo ma to petrol mu
petrol so ba to ma
nem so mutum mo between 3.5
ye ba bi bejuma trotro fa yo ko bu petrol o ka so mo nya afi o mu ya say o
mfa ka say 3.5
so ma tum no ana da wa ni so hu so mutum o man ni kude obi anti o say o ko to lord fe mo na da ni ntokwa
you see asem we me MPP time me kan NDC time mesen aka kwaku me gidi se ye nua maame no nipa mu di dwa no kwaku enso mu ni ye ni yi kakra ene mariana omo ye jire so dodo omo ye jire so kwaku me momu die ye mse ya na profit no do so dodo omo ye jire so dodo o manam na
ni ntia this time ayesa na
ala me ni dwa di ntia me
ntia this time ayesa na say inflation ni e ma ni cosmetic.
Oh, I know they're cosmetic.
That's
not the reality.
And yet reality no. Cosmetic. Abandon design. Ana odiaba. Obi say fani di anka ho say beer MPP kono na 8 series. Ko ba beer na ye abenya bi 10.
E de bad.
Ba beer. Like see ano.
Dey ehuro wani no.
See ano 20. Ene no you ba bi wo fam. Ojiji wanim ko ba bi omo ye ni di ande se bi a e de betwi ba akwa aju 30. Enti ne atie no enti medam ase atiefo nso ye e de bibiri di adwenkyere eba because said the name si ekono maintenance mu bi me tina no pe manfa commodity bia
media minim se de minim items no prices ha but na me kai say me producer me free na me yisika to ho a kwaku ye de be kodwim me ko ba bia me ho se bi da ho but nansen you try the sweat uba ko ba bia ho ye empty any ho oi oh we dey we just enya haircut we try train na free so ene ma boa ye din yakopon mo na obia enya djuma kakrange na biensa enko ya no anye sa de a atameshi anu ye din because aduane pa se Kenkey last be to Kenka Billy ko to buy 7 cities the 5 cities na 5 cities die no se woni ade kakra
ko so betumi amoa no amene
na se ye nkruma
e be fa ho amene
o betuma abolo gona na ekọ baby e bi ke where are we to was intimi de ko so na me aban no ye no hwia de obeya ne be because wa sheda and was time for them be na sa said o moke wo yes sterilization wa sheda yi ska ni na free system and akogu bank and na inflation no wa anya hoden but anya no correct enti say kwa I think I agree with you say and am say cosmetic wa shade no kubu what I say I didn't say no kubu cosmetic enti no wo kodwom ho nko ade a e be expose
okay me professor ba kun ewo me school me former school Kofodia Technical University Professor William Jidu Esidu.
Oh yeah, prof, yes.
And people are sending me a message and we are boarding in our tofa and we say Professor Boarding so I sending me the machine dinner so say causes of price increases. 1, cost of raw material in the case of Kenkey maize. Cost of fuel, example petrol, electricity, gas and transportation. 3, cost of water, cost of na 4 cost of labor. Or say if you increase items 2 and 3 by 18%, they will certainly affect the cost of item 1 and 4 in different ways. So item 2 and 3 no 2 your cost of fuel as a petrol, fuel, electricity and transportation. And a 3 no a cost of water. Into so we increase 3 and 4, which is we increase 2 and 3 now it will affect 4 and 1, which is cost of the raw material and the cost of labor. Okay, I'll say if you reduce the rates of increasing worker salary from 25 in 2024 to 10% in 2025, the increase of fuel, the increased fuel and water prices by 18% will affect the prices of other things. Inti abajuma no na katu ya ne ya 25% no 2024 no what is the about 20 the about 10%.
Meanwhile,
and what to Kania any so boom by 18%.
Yes, the purchasing power and why you have in them
by 18%.
The economy is naked.
It may affect other things. Or say you make the worker poorer and they cannot buy from the market. If people are not buying from the market, they choose various options, mostly to reduce quality, reduce size to meet out pocket, and difficult times ahead indeed. Osinti ubasa so te enkrofo purchasing power so a nearby no say enipa ne ntimi nto ade ntimi ntonti ne oto ade no either say obete papa eyeso ana obete ne kase eso nti eba sa pa na de ahokyera ba enti no enipa na oton dokono no ya to kaniem by 18%. Ya tutu nsuom ya tufuo mu nti okono okoya mo nikanika mu a nikanika bo edge ne kase nti oba na eja gas ode benu anu so ya tumu a no odni nyina de ahyem
abon 7 series we nipa ntimi nto
7 series
abon 5 series kitu e bi
no abon 5 series
na asaya pacha
na wa ye ne sa de ama
ina ba ko professor body de nso mienti
we say last month the bat eto tomatoes the open na brongo tomatoes we say one bucket what 100 cedis
okay
e wo madina dwem we say October enre ya wakokoto bia 150
okay
and we say what is 80%.
yeah and professor Mabel Tibuadi and so any professor Jedu Asiedu ya adwene say o say enema bo na akosoro no because of tariffs akosoro taxes akosoro any nyina ka bomu a enema ne bo kosoro sa ne tibe hu say beka say inflation e wo fam but any inflation kwa
obi atwa de cake was what wo kwabenya ECG
na kwabenya
ECG kwabrenya 7 cedis sene sanki tuwa bi say
oba mo ya meneze
enti no say akadokro de any sa ne manema ne de wa ja ankrofo osu bi e ho ena bi e boy din na bi e boy din amafo osu kenka osu bi e de say enye compose ba dokro de compose
obi ade de compose you
obi ade de compose and the patcho say akwa na no wo you not check aso prices it's one the best I check na mama patcho
so ubusa no no abesa aka
hey Jesse see odo be ma
Jesse odo ya
adabi emra say ayi kasa asabu boy din progressive wache dankwa
progressive no asa da bi ono say asabu for no edoso
asabu for mum na
edoso say asabu for odoso
omo ya bi sani mbo na ye din no price no kosoro nti obi e pese ko
ayi lucrative
tini boy din a na manfo
na last time make us
ba send video
bi ma ba ko
ye ma me na me hade
yes sleep over near 1000
eni ade
sleep over near 1000
asabu
no what your transportation
eno ye
na wa ye transportation
wo be transportation
be man
na asabu news e go find any koda e ma de echi and the confusion problem na but ade echi wunso wo
eno ye modern day de no mfa hook up no
ye dey hook up no mo fie na mo pie no
ba Friday no be ko Sunday a 5k no untra transportation ba we ma lunch
kokanimu
bra
kokanimu
the itemized bill there
as a we no further and better particulars.
Greater Accra region has not been fair to MPP. And I just hope, sir, now that they are seeing, sir, they are telling them inflation is 8%, meanwhile, the prices of food items is going up, they would wake up and do the right thing when it comes to 2028.